So welcome everyone, this is my video essay on the Back from Palm project, so welcome. If you're watching this, it means, wait, what? Hey! Okay, did that fool you? I don't know. Okay, anyways, so if you're watching this, it means that you're either one of the participants who have participated in our contest on Instagram, so congratulations, this is my free gift to you. Or if you were not part of the contest, it probably means you are one of the members of the coin communities that I have decided to release this to. It's also my free gift to you. Now this is for free, but it's not entirely public, so we've placed this on YouTube. It's unlinked. What's it called? Unlisted, yes. Yeah, unlisted video, okay? So feel free to share this to other coin workers or friends who you know would love coin magic, but you know, still keep it within magicians, you know the idea. So for those who know, this is a video essay which is part of the Back from Palm project that I've been doing for the last few months. The main part of the Back from Palm project is a book. It's around 60 pages, it's a lot of photos. There are also a few videos that comes with this project, and this is one of those videos. And in this video, we talk about the psychology of the move. Now, as you know, in psychology, it's a lot about feeling the emotions and also a lot about body language. So we feel, you know, sometimes you learn better from books, other times you learn better from videos. And so in this project, you get best of both worlds. You get to feel in this video how the body language works and why it works on an intellectual level. Emotional? Yeah, in the brain level. Okay. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So a quick note on the history behind this move. Now, as you know, it's a very old move. I was very fortunate enough to work with my good friend from Singapore, Harapan. If you don't know who Harapan is, go see his work, he's great. We were able to go over the crediting issues of this move, and we were able to find this website called conjuringcredits.com from the German guru, Dennis Bayer. Really good stuff, you know, honoring history. And link in the description below. We found out where the Back from Palm came from. And there's this story which we particularly liked, where Dr. Hofzinser seems to have first used the move in mid-18th century, mid-1800s, but he never published the move. Some guy saw him do it, thinks it's the Back from Palm, and that's where the origins came from. So it's at least 200 years old. It's all the way up with the traditional finger palm and the classic palm. But clearly, it's not as popular as those other palms. In fact, as of today, not many people use this move. And I would say for very good reasons. For myself, I've hated this move for many years. And it's clearly easy to hate this move for many reasons. First of all, it's not easy to get into. You have to clip the coin, you know, like curl your hand like that, you know, and then the whole hand, it's slightly angly, you know, you have to angle it up. And most important of all, it's in this weird shape, you know, like this thumb. You have to squish your thumb together like this, you know, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Stupid pun, I know. It sticks out and people can see it from miles away. So for many years, I did not touch this move. You know, as a coin guy, you know, like I want to explore the more cooler moves. So just like many other people, you know, there are a few places where we really like to hide the coin. So for example, we hide it here, you know, so you can show your hand, you know, or you hide it here, you know, or you know, the meticulous Harada hold, you know, like amazing stuffs. But then as I start doing those moves, I feel like I'm in a bottleneck, that something's not right. And it's not until I go back to the Back from Palm that I realize that there's a huge benefit that many people are missing out on the Back from Palm. And that's the first thing I want to talk about, and that is control. Like there's this invisible, like unspoken competition that the person who can show the most part of your empty hand is the winner of the internet, you know? Like that's what people do, you know, like you see people going like that, you know, and it gets a lot of likes on Instagram for some reason, right? And for me, I've been in the same trap for many years, that I feel that it's about showing as much of the area of the hand as possible. But now I think differently. And for me, the biggest change is that I realize emptiness is not what you see, but it's a feeling. That the audience has to feel that there's nothing in your hand. So when you place the coin here, yes, you can see that you don't have anything in the palm on your fingers, but what you're sacrificing is the lack of control. That because the coin has to be balanced here, that your hand has to go locked here. If you go upper, it slides off. If you go to the side, you know, you risk the angles. And so what happens is this interesting image where you go like this, but your entire elbow and wrist is locked in a very unnatural way. And we magicians tend to ignore that. But we forget that the audience never filters out this part, that when they watch you perform, they don't go, oh, I'm just looking at your hand, you know? They look at your whole body when you perform. And so this control actually makes it even less natural. Whereas when you do the back thumb palm, yes, there's a slight issue here, but what you get is this relaxed state where your hand just can feel and talk and just rest there. Where I would say this is arguably more empty than this. That from now on, like if someone's balancing a coin here, I can see it from like way off when someone's doing this, or if they're doing a harada hold, even though the thumb is like this, that their elbow will stick out like that. So I can see from far away that they're doing something unnatural. And I think that's the biggest issue with control. That you have to control the hand, so it's not natural anymore. Now make it very clear that I'm not complaining about these moves. I myself love the moves actually, you know, they're fun to practice. And I always try to find opportunities where I can actually use them, you know. So it's not a diss. Like if you do it, good on you. But I guess my point is, you must learn how to relax. And to know that relaxing and having control over the coin is actually as important, if not even more important, when you're trying to do a coin vanish. That I feel that rather than try to chase for as much of the hand showing, try to also chase for the overall relaxed motion of your hand. That once you can feel very relaxed when you're doing something, the audience immediately filters out. And that, you know, people can feel that, nope, there's nothing. And then until you do that, then there's something. Now, of course, just because you're using the back thumb palm doesn't mean that you're immediately relaxed and controlled. In fact, that's the second thing I want to talk about, and that is releasing the tension when you're using the back thumb palm. Now, whenever you learn the back thumb palm, I'm sure you'll see this image, you know, like that's how you remember the back thumb palm, right? Fingers, you know, squished together for no reason, fingers extended, you know, like at a weird angle. It's like you're about to chop someone on the neck, you know, like, you know, like die in the back thumb palm, you know. It's in fact one of the biggest reasons why most people are scared of the back thumb palm, that who uses that, right? Try to scientifically look at this. Now, the biggest reason this is problematic is because people can feel the tension in your hand. Now, of course, feeling, you know, many people use the word feeling like a spiritual, mental thing. But to me, no. Feeling the tension is a very scientific term. What they're actually feeling is you using the muscle to tense up. Let me be clear. When your hand extend and straighten up, you're actually using your muscles. Because when you relax, your hand doesn't look like this. If you really try to relax, start from the shoulder, you shake your hand, shake the elbow, shake the wrist, and then after a few seconds, you just rest. This is what your hand looks like without using muscles. They're all curved. In fact, whenever you straighten out the finger, you're actually using muscles to pull down. And so try this experiment. If you try to like straighten all your fingers, it's very soon that your hands start to shake. Whereas if you just curl your hands, you can hold it for very long and you won't shake. The reason why it shakes is because you need to actively put energy into your hand, into the muscles to keep it this way. So that's what the audience is feeling. They're feeling the tension in the muscles of your hand. And so when you do the back thumb palm this way, they can feel it. And that's why it's unnatural. So in the book, I go over exercises where you can find your own hand, because everyone's hands is different, where you go this imagination exercise where at the end of the exercise you'll be able to find a natural hand for yourself. But now I give you the main idea, and that is try to first relax and curl your fingers. And you'll realize that just by keeping your hand relaxed and put the coin there afterwards, and then use the minimal force to clip the coin, that immediately it just got better, right? Compare this to this. So in fact, I'm showing less of the hand, but you feel more empty. So that just proves the point that I was saying earlier, that the feeling is more important than what they see. So that's the second thing you want to know, to release the tension of the back thumb palm. Now, as I'm doing this, you'll realize that the back thumb palm looks better in certain angles, and it looks worse in some other angles. Now, some magicians will say, oh, because the angle is not good. Well, to that I say it's correct in a certain degree, that sometimes you need to hide this. this thumb, this bit of the thumb is actually the biggest weakness of the back thumb palm. And that is one thing you need to notice, which is you always want to hide this part. So don't hold your hand like this, but at an angle where the back part of your hand covers it, so it looks better. But also because this means something, whereas this doesn't mean something. This is the third thing I want to talk about, and that is gestures. That this looks like I'm trying to catch something from the sky. Like I'm holding something invisible. Like even though it's the exact same thing that you're looking at, but just by tilting it differently, I'm giving this hand a different meaning. And you realize that the back thumb palm is actually quite weak on the chest level. Now some magicians try to tackle this by, when they're doing back thumb palm, they try to like hold out their finger, or they try to like wave over the other hand. Now I would say they're in the right direction. They're trying to make sense of the hand, right? But I would say these gestures are not normal because they're trying to invent a gesture while they're doing back thumb palm. What I would suggest doing instead is to put the coin away and just study this frame. That when you put out your hand, what kind of gestures you would normally do when you're actually communicating with someone, and then work backwards. Because that's how you would really look when you're communicating. Some things that you can immediately do is, for example, like, you lock your hands, or you just rub your hands, you clap, and you think of something, right? So when I'm doing this, I'm not trying to hide the coin. I'm really trying to do those moves in my head. And so when you see it through the camera, you don't feel that I'm hiding something. You feel like I'm saying something to you. And that's how you keep the move invisible. That when you feel, or when the audience feels that you're communicating something through gestures, they stop looking at your hand and focus on what you're talking about. So a good exercise is you just put the coin away and just try to put your hand here and try to talk with the hand. So for example, take a look, or let me stretch a bit. Just do these moves for a few minutes without the coin and study how you move those hands. And then once you study them, you put the coin back and you do the same things. And you start to do the pairing. So when you point your finger, you realize you don't actually point like this. You point like this. Or when you straighten your hand, you don't go like that, but you go like this. That just by changing the position to where you're naturally at makes it a lot better. And that's just by studying yourself without the coin. And that is very important when you try to act the naturalness. And that's what they feel. So one of the chapters in this book is talking about how I use the back thumb palm to do the shuttle pass. So it looks something like this. You hold a coin in your left hand, you show it, and you toss it. Immediately it changes to another coin. And then you toss it back, it changes back. It looks very clean. Now the way I approach it, and what you can do to practice, is to in fact put the coin away and just have one coin. You toss the coin from one hand to the other as if you would do it in real life, and get a feel of what it looks like. Get a feel of how much your hand is moving, how the hand goes catch the coin. And then once you're familiar with the motions, how your muscles are moving, you put the coin back and you try to pair it up. Try to use the fake move and go back. So when you're doing the fake move, it looks exactly like how you would do it in real life. Now I feel like this point on gesture is really important, and I actually discovered the importance as I was shooting this video. So as you notice that one of the routines that I've been shooting is the coin to phone move, where I put a coin into the phone. And at one point I had this subtlety, where I just palm the coin and I just swipe the phone. So it looks like this. And as I was looking at the footage, I was surprised how natural this looks. That I can just swipe this for like ages, like seconds, and people would just feel like, why is he swiping a phone? But not even, why is he hiding a coin? And I can do this comparison. With the phone, without the phone. With the phone, without the phone. You notice that on its own, it looks really weird. But just by making sense of this move, I can do this for days, and people will not see this, just because the move makes sense. So some people try to hide the back thumb palm using timing, that they think that as long as they see this for half a second, then they won't catch it. I don't think it's a timing thing. I think it's whether your audience understand the hand gesture. So as long as they see a gesture, they can look at it and burn it. But if they don't understand what's going on, they immediately see the coin. And so I think that's what's really important to learn about gestures. So that's pretty much it. This wraps up the part of the psychology behind the back thumb palm. I hope you like it. We've actually gone through quite a few things today, a lot of things. How to have control over your entire hand, not just the wrist, but like the entire arm. To be able to relax during performance and when you're palming. To be able to use real moves to pair it up with the fake moves. To be able to use gestures, understanding the power of communicating with your hands. So in the book, I go over a lot of gestures. In fact, for all the things I've said in this video, I go over them in detail in the book, but I hope you get the broad brushes. And as you can see, the reason I released this to the community is because I think this is not just for the back thumb palm. You can use these same techniques and apply to different things that you do, even if you don't do the back thumb palm, even if you don't do coin magic. Just by understanding how you interact with your audience, it makes the coin magic, or just magic in general, much better. So treat this as just my sharing. It's just my own opinion, but I hope you get something out of it. I hope you like what I have to offer. If you want, you can support the Back from Palm project. It's available on my website. And one final thing, make sure to go out there and perform, because that's where the real magic lives. And so that's it. My name is Mickey. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you around.